Yeah, bye. All right, XOXO. Got a girl. Audra at Home is filmed in front of a live Pitbull audience. Good morrow and merry meet. My name is Audra and you are in for a treat. All right, so this video is gonna be All right, so with this video today, I thought I would ruin my life by finally going into a Reddit beauty thread. So I went in, and the thing one that I'm going to say is, number one, under zero circumstances, you go over there, say anything rude, say anything nasty, because that's not what I'm about. Number two, there will not be anybody's names. I will not be naming names, usernames, none of that. We're just going to have a little fun. And one of the reasons I poked my head into this particular thread was because it was something along the lines of things that we I don't like to call myself a beauty guru because the word guru, beauty content creators, things that we do that's annoying as shit. And so I went in here because against my own better judgment, and I was like, okay, so let's go ahead and get started and see if I can address any of these issues that they have. And I look like Mimi Dobrik because I'm a monster. Like a weird baby is what I look like today. That was a weird thing to say. Yeah, it's Bobek. It's Mimi Bobek. I'm sorry, but I was close-ish. Let me live my life. Okay, anyways, bye. Okay, so first up, there were a few different variations of hate it when people pronounce something incorrectly and don't try to fix it, or they laugh about it and move on. So here's the thing about pronunciation, and just as a general rule, one of the reasons that people and this is my reason, why I will just stumble and just kind of move past it, is a lot of times I am filming in a short window of time. I know that in people's minds, they think, oh, you can just fix this, or you can do that, or you can grab your phone, figure out how to pronounce it, and then go. A lot of times, a lot of us, I am not the only one who has a full-time job. We're trying to keep it pushing. So sometimes you mispronounce a word and just move on, right? There are a lot of creators that have, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 subscribers, not even in the beauty space, but they have a whole lot of subscribers, right? And they mispronounce words all the time. I have learned to not let that be something that distracts me from their content, because I do realize that there's something about that doesn't sit right with my spirit. I'm not sure what it is exactly yet, but it makes me think of it this way. There are a lot of people on this platform who aren't from the US, right? And I think about how much difficulty they have trying to even say some of the shit that we say in English, or even phrases that we say here in the US. It is difficult, right? And I think about how hard they try. I think about how many of you I see in my comments saying, sorry, my English isn't so good. I hope that you can understand this comment. Baby, I understand. I understand what you're saying. Your English is fine. I realize that by trying to make sure that everybody can pronounce everything perfectly, I think sometimes you're getting confused between those of us who have like a full-time job and do YouTube, and then those who this is YouTube. Like, YouTube is their job. That is what they do. I can get kind of being pressed about that, but even then, I just feel like there's a word for that I don't think we're supposed to be using, so I'm not gonna use it. It starts with an E. But I do feel like there is a level of trying really hard to force people to, let me go and see exactly how I say this French word. Let it go. I normally am trying to just get this video filmed, have some fun with it, and keep it pushing, because normally it's I gotta film, then it's let me shove some dinner in my face, take a shower, get to bed. This is the lives that a lot of us are leading. Or it's let me get up hella early, I have this window of time to film before I have to get ready for work. So a lot of us are just trying to keep it pushing. So I understand that some people find it irritating, but I feel like there's more things to be irritated about, but that's just me. Why do I ruin my life like this? They gonna come for me and eat me up. Listen, it is what it is. There were several different things talking about the word, saying this is my holy grail, and to that I do agree. I feel like that becomes an overused phrase, because if it's not, there are foundations I use a lot. A lot, right? Like I use this foundation during the summer. I used it every single day when I was working, because when I started working for the past 2 or 3 months, it's been hot, whatever, this stayed on, it looked good. Like I didn't look like hot garbage when I got off of work. So it meant that if I wanted to have dinner or something with my mom, I could, and I didn't look like trash. I still wouldn't call it a holy grail. I feel like I don't necessarily have holy grail products. I have go-to products, so I don't really like to call something my holy grail because one, it's changing, it moves depending on the season. Like I'm not wearing this as much as I was. Like now I'm wearing a different one. I went back, I started wearing my Marc Jacobs again to like judge that. You know what I mean? So those are always in flux for me. I do agree that the term holy grail is used way too often, unless it's actually your holy grail, like this is the makeup that on or off camera you putting this shit on your face. I don't enjoy hearing that either, so y'all right about that. Y'all are right, because someone will say that, be like, this is my holy grail of blushes, and then when you go look in their other videos when they're just like not doing a get ready with me or whatever, like that is not the blush that is listed as the blush that they're wearing, and I'm like, are you lying to me? So another one, I'm just gonna read this comment specifically because it did kind of crack me up, because they were just like, blends like a dream, please think of other words. And my thought process is, well, what would you like for me to say? It blends like a cake on the like a freshly baked cake on the Great British Bake Off. It blends like, I don't know. What else would it blend like? Y'all tell me. Help me come up with words, because a dream is fantastic. And so that is why it is widely used. Like it blends like a dream. Otherwise it's like, it blends like the old, it blends like coffee with cream. There you go. There were a few that said something along the lines of like nagging about your life while you're doing your makeup. And like, that's the point of a get ready with me. And I'm not sure what they meant by like nagging, because like, that's kind of the point. It's like, we're gonna get ready, we're gonna talk about whatever it is we're gonna talk about, right? So like, what do you mean? Like, I don't get it, but you know what? It's your life, boo, and I can understand you not liking this. I did see several of these, and it was just something along the lines of non-Black people using AAVE excessively, and to that I do agree. It is a little weird, because there are some times where with people it does feel like it's coming across pretty forced. But yeah, it does turn me off. Like there's a few channels that I used to watch, even some bigger channels that I stopped watching because of that. Because it felt like every other, it just got to be a little much for me, and so I don't watch them. You know, I understand that vernacular is interesting and can be used by others, or they're like phrases or whatnot, but there's a level to where it goes too far, and I agree with y'all on that. Another one that a lot of people brought up was like referring to makeup palettes with pronouns, and I feel like that's just fun. I can get how that would be annoying to people, because they're just like, it's a makeup palette, it's an inanimate object. But have you collected anything in your life? Like, everything that you have an affinity for has a personality, has a thing. You know what I mean? Like, you might like spiders, like I do, and you will assign them a random gender whenever you're talking to them. Is it gonna talk back to you? No. Does it change the perspective of the spider? Absolutely not. But do you feel good with your affinity with said spider? Yes. And I feel like the same thing happens with people who collect makeup. It's like, oh, she's doing the most. You know what I mean? Like, and she is doing the most. Like, And I feel like if you were always saying this palette is doing a lot, then like that would be strange. And I feel like there is a difference. I feel like sometimes there are people who will use pronouns when they like a palette. Like if you're a collector, you like the palette, you'll use pronouns. But if you don't really like it, you'll just be like, this palette is blah, blah, blah. Or it's like just okay to you. You know, I think that sometimes it helps to distinguish to the viewer like how you're really feeling about it. But I could be wrong. Y'all let me know. So one of the things that was brought up was it was like how our intros are and how long they can take, and saying, you know, welcome back to my channel and all of that good stuff. What people don't realize is that it is important to do your call to actions. Like, I don't say mine, I just put them up, honestly, because I can't remember to do it. That's me as a person. I can't remember to do it. I used to be able to, and I finally got tired of being so sporadic with it, being like, don't forget to like and subscribe. Like, I forgot, like, so I finally just started putting the stuff up on screen. But they do tell you, if you watch any of the like YouTube help videos, call to actions really do help. Like hearing someone tell you to subscribe if you like what you hear. It's, as much as people want to say it's annoying, the reality is like it does help. By not saying it or having it up on the screen, you're leaving it to chance that people will like think to do it on their own. And I know that people think, well, there's a title and there's credits and there's all of these things, but the reality is like you're still supposed to do that call to action. It does help you by just saying that. Like there's channels where I didn't realize I wasn't subscribed to them until I'm like sitting there watching and they're like, if you like what you're hearing, subscribe. I'm like, oh my God, I hadn't subscribed, and I go ahead and subscribe. It's just like little reminders. I know that it can be irritating, but that's like part of the whole thing. Like you're doing this because, as my friend Nappy Headed Hoe with Tea says, you want people to watch your videos. You do this for views, and you want people to subscribe so that they'll tell other people that you're awesome, and more people will subscribe. It's like, it's a whole thing. I know it's annoying, but like, it's part of the game. One of the things that really I found upsetting was somebody saying, you know, kind of talking about neurodivergencies and saying like, when someone says they're neurodivergent, why aren't they telling you what their issue is, like which part of neurodivergency is? And to that I'd say they don't owe you that. Nobody owes you that. I'm free with mine, ADHD, ASD. I'm free with that. That's fine. But nobody owes that to you. Some people just want to leave it at, I am neurodivergent, and like, stop there. Everybody doesn't want to tell you. Also, there's a very strong possibility you may have missed the video or the live stream or whatever it is when they talked about it. So they don't have to keep saying it over and over again. Like if I said it in every video, like that would be annoying. I think it would be annoying. It would annoy me to say it. But most importantly, people don't owe that to you. If they're just like telling you offhand, you know, I'm a neurodivergent person, like da 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 da, you don't get to like have that information just because you want it. You know what I mean? Like you don't get to have that because you want it. Like if somebody is bipolar or anything, they don't have to tell you that they have BPD. They don't have to tell you any of those things. And they may not feel comfortable sharing it. They may feel comfortable just saying, I am a neurodivergent person, or I'm neurodivergent, so that you also know that you're not alone. But like they don't owe you their like mental health history. They don't owe that to you. I know it can be frustrating to you because you're watching and you're thinking like, oh, wow, are they just using that? Which I would say you should work on your cynicism. You should work on your cynicism. Try a little light positivity. Just light, like positivity light. But like work on not being so cynical. But the reality is people don't owe that to you. So like you can be as mad as you want about that. But people definitely do not owe telling you exactly what's going on. They don't have to give you that. Now I understand that people will talk about it, especially when they've gotten into hot water, but I feel like there is a level of people using it, and then there's a level of people trying to say, I know what I did is fucked up. I'm also trying to explain. Like it's not an excuse. It is a reason that I am like this, and I am working past these things. I'm trying to work on them. I get how people can feel however they feel about it. So another big thing came about sponsorships and like seeing people recite the same scripts. So fun fact, that's how sponsorships work. They give people a script. You don't really get to like slide off into it, okay? There's very specific points that you have to hit for all of those sponsorships. If y'all have not seen Hannah Smoky Glow's video on sponsorships, I'm not gonna remember to put it here. So I'm just gonna put it in the description box. Please watch that. I do not think people understand. It's just like any commercial. Like it's like any commercial. You have points that you have to hit, and then you submit the video so that they can approve it. If you missed a point, you're gonna have to go back and fix it. So that's why a lot of people, once they have a script together for whatever sponsorship that they're gonna do, they use the same one every time. They may have like a little bit of intro or whatever, but because they already know that this script that they put together for whatever sponsor that they're working with has been approved. So not deviating from that means it's gonna be easier for your next one to get approved and you don't have to stress about it. I know that it can come across as annoying, but like that is how sponsorships work. They work with a script. Like every single sponsorship is going to have either a specific script that they give everybody that they have to use, or they're like, you have to say these 7 things. You have to hit these 7 points. You also have to tell people to go ... You also have to do blah, blah, blah. Like, that's how the sponsorship works. That's how they get paid. I know that it can feel disingenuous because everybody's hitting the same points, but like, that's how sponsorships work. There's no way around it. Sorry. I know. It's annoying, but like, it's how it works. So, sorry. This is one I agree with. Somebody was talking about their irrational hatred for low buys.
I hate them too.
I agree with you. I have a deep-seated hatred for low and no buys. Now, I know how that's gonna come across. Like, oh, well, you just like to be involved in overconsumption. No, I don't like feeling limits attached to my life. The second that I feel like there are limits, I stop functioning properly. I don't do well. The second that like I try to go, okay, you're only gonna allow yourself to spend $120 this month on X, I will immediately blow it out of the water. Because the second that I sat that limit down, it boggled my mind. And I also don't feel like I like to live in a world that for me has all of these limits. And I feel like a big part of that is because in your working world, outside of your home, right? You go to your job, there are so many limits placed on you. So many. And it is nice to have space where I don't have to have that. It doesn't mean I just spend willy-nilly or do whatever, but it also means I don't make myself feel bad because I bought something. Like, I bought something that didn't work out. That sucks. Moving along. Like, that's life. I'm also very highly, acutely aware that whatever small amount of trash or garbage or waste that I make will never ever compare to the amount that a corporation makes in literally 1 hour. 1 hour. Like, I couldn't make that the kind of waste that they make in a lifetime. I feel like we are kind of greenwashing this idea of consumption and all of this and trying to put the onus on singular people. And that's just not okay with me either. So I feel like low buy feeds into that as well. So I agree with you. I don't like it. I feel like either you want to buy shit or you don't want to buy shit, and that's fine. And I don't mind when y'all say in the comments that you're on a low buy or a no buy, because I get where you're coming from, because it's usually on a new makeup nonsense and you're like, glad I'm on a low buy. And I'm like, baby, yes, because the makeup sucked. You know what I mean? But I don't watch literally any video where a creator is talking about like an update on their low buy or their no buy. I don't care. I'm sorry. I'm like, I want to see you buy things. That's what I came for. Okay, so this I understand because people have misophonia. Is that how you say it? Did I finally say it right? Oh my God, I did. Teresa, I said it right. Okay, because I kept calling it mesothelioma, which is obviously not it. Any who's-its. I get that people don't like smacking, kissing, snapping noises, whatever. Here's a fun thing for me. I make a lot of either mouth or hand sounds, clapping, snapping. These are markers for me. There's stims in some ways, but also some of them are markers for me to let me know, like, hey, you've been going on too long. Time for you to finish this up. End the point. You know what I mean? Those are things that I'll do. I know it can be irritating, so I can understand the frustration with that. It's not irrational. That's not an irrational feeling to have. I can get how people don't like it because it's irritating, but like, it is what it is. I know people will be like, mwah, I'm sorry, I just did it. But like, it is chef's kiss, you know? Because I don't like to necessarily say chef's kiss. Like, can I just, because it feels weird to say chef's kiss and do the hand movement. Am I wrong on that? Let me know. All right. Okay, the last one that I ruined my life with on Reddit was somebody talking about how we often say, like, when we're doing, and a few people talked about this, when we're doing declutters or whatnot, we say, I just don't reach for it. Here's the fact, or a fun fact for me in particular. I say that because I am reaching for it. My makeup is in a position where I reach out for it. Now I know it might seem weird, but I'm not, because I do YouTube, right? I physically reach for a palette. Like, this be where the palettes are. I do actually physically reach for my makeup. So like, that's why I say it. And I feel fairly positive that a large amount of people who do like beauty content creators, I feel fairly certain a lot of them are also using the term reach for and that term, because like if we're doing a get ready with me or we're going to get ready to be on camera, I reach for a palette and I use it. And if I'm not reaching for it, then I'm not interested in it like I used to be. I know, it's annoying. Like it can be irritating. You're like, who talks like that? I do. My friends do. All right, that is it. That's the video. That was me going in, hurting my feelings and ruining my life with a Reddit thread. I'm gonna do this again with other Reddit threads that aren't necessarily beauty related, because I like Reddit. Like I like playing on Reddit. I'm also not gonna go back in there because like, whoo, child, I got my heart broken. I had my feelings hurt. You know, I had my wig snatched a little bit. I was like, whoo. So I'm gonna ruin my life with other parts of Reddit that aren't beauty, okay? Not beauty Reddit next time. Give me some suggestions on Reddits that I should ruin my life with. All right, if y'all enjoyed this video, please do me a favor and give this video a big thumbs up, so then that way the algorithm goddess can do what she does best, which is push me further down into the algorithm so that I can continue to do whatever the fuck I want to. And as usual, huge shout out to my patrons and spooky bays, yeah, without which I truly would not be able to keep the bats in the belfry and the spiders firmly ensconced in their webs. I know Halloween's over, but I still dressed up as Black Mimi, so what you want? What you want? For all of you who like, share, watch, and subscribe, I appreciate you as well. And you know the drill, it costs $0 to be kind. It's so good for your soul, because if you don't take care of it, I'm sure as fuck snatching yours. And until next time, XOXO. Got the girl. I got it stuck in my head. So what you want? And I just look so wild and it's making me feel like a little bit nuts. Hold on. I want to see you buy the things. I'm like, ooh, I look like an actual doll. I forgot. Let me do that again. Like, I feel like I look like an actual doll. Like, I don't think a lot of people, okay, I'm done. Being so weird. It's the eyes with the hair and like, what you want? I'm gonna shake my long back. Do y'all shake your long backs? And I made it like nice and square today so that I would look like a real doll. Okay, anyways, cause I can't twerk, but I tried.